Have you ever wondered why people argue? When's the last time that you saw a spider monkey debate with a friend who has the most amount of bugs in their hair? When is the last time that you saw a brick wall arguing with a car saying how the tires are bad for the environment? These scenarios don't make sense because number one, walls can't talk, and number two, human beings are the only ones that argue. And to argue effectively, we need something called a claim. An effective claim argues, it persuades, it suggests, it provides a position, it convinces people to agree with what you're presenting to them. So the reader may or may not agree with you, but that is the point of having a claim. It has a debatable stance, which is something that I will come back to later, but a debatable stance is something that people may not agree with, but is something that they could actually take on intellectually and either oppose it or support it. So the claim is the main argument of the thing that you're creating, whether it be a paragraph or a longer essay. It is the most important part of your paper or whatever else you're writing. Or drawing? You don't write claims for drawings. It sets the tone for the paper. It's basically like the identity of what the paper is going to be. It tells your audience where you're going to go, what you're going to argue, how you're going to argue it, what position you're taking on whatever issue is at hand. It defines your paper's goals and directions, and it can be supported by evidence and reasoning, which is something that we'll get in different videos. However, when we talk about it, it can sound like an opinion, but opinions are a little different. It says things like, the Bulls are the best. They're not this year. Or Takis are delicious. That's debatable. Or cats are the worst. It's true. Cats are the worst. Dogs are way better. They're all opinions because those statements by themselves cannot be argued. Because if you think those things, if you truly think them, it's your opinion. Your opinion is right to you. It may not be right to others. I really want to emphasize how that statement, your opinion is not always right to everyone else. I know you think it is. It's not. It really isn't. I mean, look at me. It's my opinion that the dab is just a sneeze. That's how that dance started. Someone sneezed into their elbow and was like, oh, I feel better. Let's look at the three opinions above. Bulls are the best, Takis are delicious, and cats are the worst. Now, to make them claims, they need a couple key elements. First of all, they need to be able to be argued. Claims must be arguable, and it must be supported by evidence as well as reasoning. So if we took the claim that cats are the worst or the worst type of pet, which is true, then we need to address the reasons why the cats are the worst type of pet. So if you change that opinion to cats are the worst type of pet because they're indifferent to your well-being, they poop in a box, and they throw up all the time, then that is now a claim. It is arguable. You can provide evidence of how often they throw up or how often they poop in a box or why they're indifferent to you. They're indifferent to you because they just don't like people. It may be silly, but that turned your opinion into an actual arguable claim. The claim itself is like a roadmap for the rest of your paper. It shows where you're going, how you're going to argue, what you're going to argue, and gives the reader a sense of advance, so like they know what you're going into. And of course, claims have a debatable stance, which means that they can be debated. You can argue it, you can argue against it, you can argue for it, you can use evidence that pulls it and brings it together. And the other thing that your claim needs, it needs a stance. Now, when I say a stance, I'm not talking like a wrestling stance. Bucks. Staggered. Bucks. I'm not talking about a dancing stance. And so you just point at your feet, stand there, and you go like this. I don't know what this is. But you need to have something that can be agreed or disagreed upon, and it takes a stance on the issue. So let's say you're reading about Harry Potter, and you're trying to debate whether when he killed he who must not be named, Voldemort, if that was murder or if it was self-defense. There's no middle ground there. It can't be murder and self-defense. Because let's be honest, Voldemort attacked him first when he was a baby. There's no middle ground. Pick a side. The stronger your claim, the stronger your paper will be. The more definite a side you have, the easier it will be to write. When you argue, make sure you have your claim. That claim needs to be supported by evidence and reasoning, which are different videos that part of this series. The claim is your argument. Evidence and reasonings are the foundation. Make sure to check out those videos. Make sure to do all the assignments that are attached with it. And if you ever need to come back and look at these, you may. They are on YouTube. You can subscribe. I don't really care if you do or not. I really don't. It might help you and me. Check out my mustache. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.